What's up, Internet? It is Will Shocker, and we are back with more Albion Online. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about consistency in your daily routine because it is an important subject, and I think it would help a lot of people if I gave my 2 cents regarding consistency. Because believe it or not, I have been consistent with my goals for going on a couple years now, and I've definitely seen some progress, some results, and I figured I'd share some of the little tricks that made things as easy as possible for me. So, when you have a goal like studying or um, losing weight or hitting the gym more or anything that requires like learning an instrument, anything that takes a long time over multiple days, there are a few tricks that I have learned over the years that have helped me um, be more productive, have greater self-control, establish more discipline with myself. And now that I've accomplished so much, I am deciding that I'm going to share what I know. So let's start with the baby basics, the very level one. Let's assume you're a person that has never been disciplined a day in your life and you're wondering where to start. So this video is exactly for that. Um, when you are starting with discipline, what you're really trying to do is you're trying to create a system, not a goal, right? You're not chasing a goal. What you want to do is establish a system, okay? And systems, the most basic system that you can have is a schedule, right? Jordan Peterson has talked about this. Lots of life coaches will advocate for a schedule, and I'm going to advocate for a schedule because that's what's worked for me. Basically, if you want to be consistent at something, you want to set a certain time every day to do that thing, and that if you just take it at face value and you know start doing things at 12 p.m. every day and you make some progress on that for a couple of weeks, what happens is you burn out, and you get tired of doing that thing and you don't want to keep doing it, so you skip a day and then you skip 2 days and then you skip 3 days and then you're back at square one. So my trick, there's a couple tricks that I have to establish consistency. Okay, the very first trick that I have to offer is make sure when you're setting your schedule, your sleep has to be the top priority. Okay? You need to get not just enough sleep, okay? Make sure you're getting ample sleep. Make sure you're getting like more than enough sleep. Make sure you're getting so much sleep that it feels borderline crazy. Like I'm talking going to bed at 7 p.m. in the evening or 8 p.m. in the evening. Like I would advocate for 8 p.m., 10 p.m. tops if you have to do something at maybe 8 or 9 the following morning. I would set a bedtime of like 8 or 9 p.m. So that means you're getting at least like 8 to 10 hours of sleep every day. Because what that's going to do is it's going to prepare your body and your brain for a full day the next day, and it's going to give you more mental faculties in place. It's going to help you remember things that you wanted to do the previous day. It's going to help you stay disciplined and less emotional about the things that you decide to do. Like if you're low on motivation because you're tired, that's not something you want to happen. So there's a lot of benefits to taking care of your health and making sure you're getting enough sleep. So, if I am talking to, say, a college student and their goal is to study more often so that they can get higher grades on their tests and exams and such, I would say the number one thing you have to be doing is sleeping. Okay. Um, I consider this to be non negotiable. I think if you are trying to be a productive human in any capacity, then you are greatly hindering yourself if you're not focusing down on your sleep. And this may seem like unconventional advice, you know. If you're saying, oh, well, I want to go to the gym or I want to study, and sleeping has very little to do with going to the gym, you're wrong. It has everything to do with going to the gym. So, you know, get that mindset that sleep isn't going to help you, you know, do away with that, because sleep is going to help you with everything. Everything. It's going to help you with everything. Even when you have bad days, they won't be as bad when you have lots of sleep. And that has been the biggest life changer for me. Like when I decided to start going to bed at 7 p.m., 8 p.m. instead of 9, 10, 11, 12, my life completely did a 180. It completely changed because all of a sudden, not only was I in control of how much energy and emotional, you know, grit through the day, I was establishing a semblance of discipline. I was doing something that was so insanely easy that it felt stupid not to do it. And by proving to myself that I could do this, go to bed at the same time every night, um, it allowed me to think of myself more as a person who was able to stick to a plan or able to execute on a strategy. And having those identifiers within your psyche, within your mind, makes it so that you're much less averse to additional changes. Okay, and that's where I really want to get you. That's where I want to get you to this point where you've already made one change. All right, now it's not so difficult to make your second change. Okay, sleeping is easy. You close your eyes and you conk out. That's it. There's nothing else to it. Anybody can fix their sleep. Anybody and everybody can fix their sleeping schedule. And once you do, you have a little proof there. You have a little bit of proof that you can control your outcomes, right? It's not much. It doesn't actually change a whole lot over the long term. But what it does is it allows you to become more disciplined, because you're gonna be looking at your clock all day, every day, like you already do, because we're creatures of habit and we have a habit of checking the time. And you're gonna say, "Oh, it's almost 7 o'clock. It's almost 8 o'clock. I'm gonna go to bed," right? And once you start having that consistency, then you can start saying, "Oh, well, I'm already consistently doing this one thing. Now I'm going to," well, what worked for me was to add something on top of that. Just a little bit, not much. I added something on top of my sleep. So in my case, I added Duolingo to my sleep schedule, or my daily schedule, basically. I go to bed at 7 to 8 p.m., and right before I fall asleep, I do a 2-minute lesson on Duolingo. Literally 2 minutes, not much, okay? 2 minutes a night for 2 years. I know more Japanese than I ever thought I would ever know, okay? I don't know a lot. I'm still, you know, below a basic level, but I can tell you what time it is. I could ask you what time it is. Ima wa nanji desu ka? Right? But the point is, I was able to do it consistently. Consistency. Okay? First, I went to bed at a reasonable or more than reasonable hour to give myself the best fighting chance of making it to the next day with, you know, full energy, full mindset, you know, whatever I needed for that day. Discipline, right? Then I started doing Duolingo every night. Before I go to bed, I do a 2-minute lesson on Duolingo. 2 minutes, that's it. It's not much. It's not much. Hold on. keys to establishing consistency. Number one, sleep. Sleep more than enough. Way more than enough. Take whatever you think is enough and add 2 hours. And then what you want to do is you want to add little tiny bite-sized ingredients to your schedule. Either surrounding your sleep, either, you know, for me it works before bed. Some people would prefer to do things first in the morning, but me, I prefer, you know, being fully aware. So I want to get things done later in the afternoon around the time that I'm going to be going to bed. Okay, so that's number one. Sleeping is number one. And then adding micro habits. That's a thing called a micro habit. You add micro habits around your sleep schedule. So let's say if you want to start getting fit, okay? Let's say you've got no interest in Duolingo at all, right? Let's say you set your bedtime. You say, okay, I'm going to go to bed at 8 p.m. every night. And then what you want to do is right before bed, you want to do 1 push-up, 1 bicep curl, 1 chest press, okay? 1 sit-up, whatever. Just 1, okay? And what this is going to do is it's going to add to your schedule. And it's going to be another thing that you do consistently, okay? So now take whatever day it is. Today is October 17th, 2025, all right? Let's say you're starting off with sleep, okay? Give it about a month. Sounds good. Give it at least 2 weeks of going to bed at the same time every night, okay? And make that your chief goal. The one thing that you want to do right by the end of the day is go to sleep on time, okay? Give yourself 2 weeks of that. 2 weeks of consistently going to bed at the same time. No interruptions, no excuses, no distractions. Just pedal to the metal, straight to bed when that time hits, okay? That's going to give you the basis, the groundwork, the foundation of your discipline, okay? That's going to be step 0, okay? Step 0 is get your sleep right, get your sleep straight, whatever you want to call it, get it in order. That's going to be number 1. Then you're going to do 1 tiny micro habit before going to sleep. For me, it was Duolingo. For you, it can be a push-up, or it can be read a page from a book, or something like that. Okay? And then, once you've done, you know, a day or 2 of that one activity before bed, you can increase the difficulty of that micro habit as much as you want, right? So let's say if I want to get fit and I want to work out, I'm going to do 1 push-up every night before I go to bed for about 3 days, 2 days, whatever feels right. And then I'm going to add +1 to that micro habit. So I'm going to do 2 push-ups before bed, okay? And then over time, we're going to grow that discipline. We're going to do 2 push-ups a night, and 3 push-ups a night, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 push-ups a night. Before you know it, you'll be doing 12, 15 push-ups a night, and then going to bed. And then you'll be able to tell yourself, wow, I have really been consistent with this one thing, with these 2 things rather. And that serves as motivation to either introduce new micro habits or improve on your current micro habits. So that is the right way to do things as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm aware, you know, to the very best certainty of success, you want to do something like that. You know, you want to anchor your habits around other habits, right? So if you're in the habit of going to sleep at the same time every night and never breaking that habit, right? Then you're going to build another habit of doing one small thing right before bed, and then another small thing, and another small thing, and another small thing. So what you're doing here is you are erasing the choices that you used to make that were bad choices and replacing them with habits, okay? Good, helpful, productive habits, okay? I sat down a long time ago and I said, look, I would very much like to be in shape. And I would very much like to learn Japanese. And so, what I've been doing, what I've had success with, is setting a bedtime, doing a walk right after dinner, because I'm also in the habit of having dinner at 5 p.m. every day. And what worked for me was, okay, I'll go for a 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute, 20-minute walk after dinner. So you want to find events that happen every single day without fail, and then you want to build your productive systems around it, okay? Systems develop habits, and habits develop progress, all right? So consistency is key. Everybody knows that. Everybody who's ever done anything difficult knows that once you start doing it consistently, the battle is halfway over. Okay, once you've become the kind of person that executes on a strategy and sticks to a plan, you're pretty much set. You can start setting goals around the habits, the micro tiny habits that you want to develop. Okay, I'm not just talking woo-woo stuff here. I'm not talking woo-woo BS. All right, this is what actually worked for me. All right. And I considered myself one of the least disciplined people I had ever seen in my life. Like, I had nothing together in the past. So this has worked well for me so far. And here's the other thing that works for me. Okay, I don't plan to get anything done 2 months from now, 3 months from now. Okay, that's not the ambition. All right. I realize that anything worth doing is going to take a long, long, long time. A long time. Not just months, not just years, but decades. Okay? I plan on being fluent in Japanese by the time I'm 50. Okay? That gives me so much wiggle room and so much flexibility that I'm not expecting to be, oh, I gotta be fluent in 6 months. Oh, I gotta be, drop 100 pounds in 3 months. That's not it, okay? I have habits that I have decided on that I'm going to do whether or not I've achieved my goal or not, right? So, what do I mean by that? I mean, I plan on doing Duolingo every night for the next 10 to 15 years, okay? And I'm adding YouTube to that routine. I plan on doing YouTube every day for the next 15 years. That means I'm going to have over 5,000 videos posted if I post every day. Okay? There's no way that can go wrong because I'm doing it for a long enough time frame. So, yes, that is just the beginning of my secret tips to being consistent with things. And there's a whole lot more to discuss, but I've already gone on for 20 minutes, so I'm going to cut the video here. My name's Will Shocker. I am the leader of the Power Surge Guild on Albion Online. If you are interested at all in Albion Online, feel free to drop a comment, talk to me, join my guild. I'd be all for it. And yeah, let's have some fun. But thank you so much for watching. I will stop the video here, and I will see you tomorrow.